I was wanting to thank him for, first of all, I asked him, how many story fests did you do? And he gave me a huge number. And what I remember about Riptide, that's who Mike Isabel is, by the way, is that they would give away a guitar every year here. And it usually went to some kid who didn't live on this side of the tracks. And he told me, he says, I still run into some of those people that'll say, hey man, do you remember that guitar you gave away at Story Fest? And he would say, yeah. He says, I still have that guitar, and we still play that guitar. And I thought that was a blessing, and it's got me to thinking, along with all these other storytellers, that's what this is really about. And Story Fest is missed, by the way. When my kids were kids, and there's one of my kids in this black cap right here, it was a safe place where you could bring your kids because the street was closed down, and that if your kids started misbehaving, somebody that your kids didn't even know, another parent would walk up and say, hey, do you want me to tell your mom or dad what went on? And it was just a safe place to interact with the community and the society. But that's not even the end of it. It changed the course of a lot of different guys' paths that they chose to take. Like, at my first Story Fest, there's a guy sitting right here, and his brother had told me, hey, there's gonna be a guy at this store. You going to Story Fest? He asked me. Nah, probably not. He goes, well, there's gonna be a guy down there that writes his own songs, and you should go see that guy. And I started thinking, I think I'm going to, because I had just started learning to play guitar, but I was mostly mimicking people and stuff that I heard on the radio. I went and saw this particular artist, and he performed on, and first of all, it was some weirdo walking around here all day long, and he was dressed in a sports coat with no hat, and some new boots, and like, who is that weirdo? Well, that night, he was the guy that was performing that this individual said I should go see. And he started a song that haunted me. The name of the cut is Mariano, and it starts with that A minor hammer on, which was above my head at that time, but it was so haunting that I hung on it, but he couldn't pull it off. I don't know if it was a guitar problem, I don't know if it was a soundboard problem, but he skipped that song. He skipped Mariano and he went to something else. And I was just hung, I had to hear that, I had to hear how it finished. And so as immediately as his show was over, I knocked children down, I bumped into old ladies to get to Mr. King, and I'm like, man, that song, what was that song? He goes, oh, that was Mariano. I tried it 2 times, I'm not gonna try it again, but you can buy it on a record over there, the Consummate Salesman, you know? So I went over there and I bought everything that he had. That changed the course of what I did with this. And it's changed the course of what he does with that. And it changed the course of what he does with his. And everyone to a man has got some story that's similar to that, but a little different. And the end of the show today will be with kids that are getting to get on stage. And there was kids that were on your stage earlier, and they get to sing on a hot mic in front of real people. That also will change the course. Storyfest is missed. With that being said, I was late, and I was weary. A radio is the Mexican song. The air was chill, and my eyes were bleary, like a wandering mind. I've been away too long. Dirt poor road, man, I've known forever. gonna live my life out on a river bank by an old oak tree. Ooh, what was I thinking? Ooh, what took so long? Quicksilver sun can stay lost forever. Whenever highway seems to call your name, but the Lord above has held me together, and now I know it's true. I'll never be the same. That was JD. Thanks for having us. Next up is Bob Straw.